Alright, we have Dalton in chat now.
Excellent.
I don't know what happened, but I got it figured out. Oh, hey, it's Dalton.
So you said the chat can make a characters for the campaign. Since he's in the chat now, can you make an NPC?
If he sub. The NPC requires a sub, so there's that. Alright. We should begin to get started. So. Breakfast, you guys were interrupted and let know, hey, there's a murder in the town and we think you guys should come see this.
Okay. Describe the murder as we walk there.
Sorry, what?
I'm asking him to describe the murder as we head there.
So the guard captain that's escorting you, to give you reference, is broad-shouldered. He's a large-based creature. He's a Loxodon. Big elephant creature. And is just lumbering his way through the city explaining to you that he would start to explain, but he fears he would mischaracterize it and would rather you see it for yourselves.
Alright.
If you want, you can give me an insight.
New dice, don't fail me.
17.
21.
14.
19.
He is visibly shaken.
Okay. Now this is the morning where me and him fought still, right?
Morning after.
Okay.
Take your pill.
You mean my hit dice? Since it was a short rest?
Sure.
Oh boy, that's 3.
Actually, you do that as well.
Alright, so. You guys are brought to... Go ahead and give me a perception as you guys are approaching the house. It's redundant to say it, but it's in the housing district.
11.
7.
12.
10's pluses, so 2 so
Perception?
far. Yep.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, so we'll get to what extra you get. Immediately as you guys approach it, you can see it. There's a caked brown substance leading out from a floor gutter coming from the house. You guys the 3 of you would recognize that as blood. And then time frame, you're able to say probably sometime from overnight, but exact time, I guess I could give you middle of the night, as early as 11, but no later than 2. Just kind of as you look at it and see the level of dryness to it.
If you ever need to write anything out.
Okay.
I just noticed your tie and I love it.
Yes, we have our cat tie on today. There is
You
much
are the
cat.
cat cam.
Sam, what was it coming out of again?
A floor gutter.
Floor gutter.
So where once water gets in the house, it would drain out. These are typical of dirt and stone floor abodes, as you guys have a stone floor abode.
Is there anything we should know before I open the door?
The Loxodon's going up, and there's guards here. They are at the door. You are permitted to go in.
Right. I will see if the door is locked and then try to open the door.
It's not locked. They're there. The door is cracked. They're just there preventing people from getting in who aren't you.
Alright, well, I'm going to open the door and poke my head in.
Yep, so immediately your eyes you blink as you're adjusting to the darkness as you walk in. But very quickly, your eyes are drawn to a mural on the opposing wall. To call it a mural is a bit much. It is an artistic design representing, best you can figure is a medium creature, maybe an elf, human-sized, but it is painted in gore and textured with bits of the victim's body.
Well, at least someone in this town is artistic.
On a general, it's looks fairly artistic in its representation. If it weren't for its composition, it would be considered a masterful work of art.
You said that the mural was made out of like his blood and guts, but what about the physical body?
The guards kind of motion you back into the second room of the house. It's fairly small. There's only 2 rooms, a private and public room.
Right.
In the private room, you see the victim's... We'll call it a corpse. Because to call it a body is not entirely accurate, but is also almost extremely accurate, as it is the torso. The head is entirely missing.
Oh,
The
wonderful.
torso itself has... Well, the 2 of you who entered, or stated you entered, go ahead and give me a survival roll. Anyone else who wanted to be in looking around can also give me the roll.
19.
Alright.
9.
13.
14.
14? So only with the 19. The cuts are butchery marks. In other words, it looks like it was directly cut with a single cut going the length, just off to the side of the central part of the rib cage, severing the ribs connection to it, and then gutted, and organs have all been removed.
Okay, then.
It is this room that has the floor gutter that appears to have let the blood drain away. The Loxodon motions up to a rope that is affixed to the roofing timbers, says that the body was hung there from its haunches when they arrived.
Alright, are there any, like, bloody footprints, or did any of the guards find any footprints when they arrived that lead to or from the building?
The Loxodon indicates, aside from the decorations and work that the murderer has left, we've seen no obvious clues in terms of footprints, in terms of murder weapons. Everything else in the room, save for the area of the butchery, is immaculately clean.
Do we have a name for the victim?
The victim's name was Lornall.
Lornall?
Yes. Elf. Lived alone. Aged around 600 years.
Did he look somewhat like the mural?
Yes.
Can you describe the mural again?
It is an image of, now you know, Lornall gazing out from a mountaintop.
Okay, so from a mountaintop. I assume that mountaintop is like this, where
Yes.
the city's located.
While it is not a realistic impersonation, you can assume that by the imagery.
Alright, can I roll investigation to see if there's like any hints that might tell anything about the
Go for it.
murderer, or like say
Yeah.
potential next victim? Oh no, that's a 7.
It's a 7?
Wait. Yeah, that's a 7.
Alright. You kind of start going through, just looking around. You don't see anything in the house, around the house. It's, as the guards have avoided moving things, and you kind of take their lead, and you just don't find anything.
Modified 20 for investigation around the house.
So, the cat looks way too practiced at this. Going in, picking up an item, spinning it around, placing it back such that it looks like it had never moved, and the various light dust layer appears completely undisturbed. And she begins to fiddle around, and what you're able to get is, from the mural, it appears that in how it was how it was put together, it would have been made by a creature no taller than 4 feet, as it appears to be done in multiple parts, indicating that whoever did it did one part and then moved to another part. Not so much in the broad strokes sense of it, but they laid a base coat, did some stuff, then got down, lit a base coat. You are also to identify that one of the tables nearby appears to have been moved and, while replaced, was not replaced perfectly. So that appears to have been the stool used.
Our murderer appears to be on the short side.
Well, at least I know it wasn't me.
Have any family, the victim?
No, came here as far as we know, sole member of his household seeking adventure.
Alright.
You said the murderer was likely on the short side.
Yes, no more than 4 feet.
What was his
Alright.
occupation?
Occupation, he did odd jobs around, nothing specific.
Have any friends or anything like that? Or
Generally friendly to all he had met. I can't think of anything who would have said anything ill about him.
how are you alerted to someone was amiss?
The guard patrol noted the leaking of blood from the household, at which point it was deemed we should investigate.
We should
Can we
investigate the
determine
house. that's-
how
Skull.
long
has
ago
blood coming
this
out of it.
probably happened? He was murdered?
We've not been able to identify a time, although we discovered it at around 1 a.m.,
Alright.
at which point the blood was still fresh.
Can I try and roll to figure out more exact time?
Go for it.
Is that survival, I guess, or
Survival or investigation?
17
Which skill?
survival?
Survival. So investigating the body, based on when they were saying the blood had been let out, you're able to judge that he probably died about an hour or an hour and a half before that.
Okay.
And you're able to see, just as you're looking at the body, that there's no other puncture wounds or mutilation of the corpse. So the weapon either affected him in his head or was non-puncture, non-stab related. Puncture, cut, smash, etc.
Do you have detective magic?
No.
Alright.
A Finley?
Because I was going to say, like, maybe we could try to use that, see if there was, like, any magic residue or anything like that, but I don't have it either.
Detect magic.
Detect magic?
I do matter.
So, as you spend, I'm assuming, ritual cast.
No, innate ability.
Okay. So, innate ability of Furbolg, detect magic. You start kind of pacing around, just making sure you get every corner. There appears to be no magic present.
Alright.
Chat is adamant that I need to tell you that they've decided you can barbecue the elf. And as it's properly gutted and butchered, it is edible.
I mean, they left the ribs. That is my favorite part.
The mural itself, other than the top of mountaintop, is there any other topographical
There is
landmarks?
the only thing that he is looking over. It appears to be a valley that would be to the. See if I can remember. It's going to be the south. Well, west southwest. So like a tad south of the cardinal direction west.
Would it be a good idea to get the, what was he, a gnome that we picked up?
Theodore?
Yeah, Theodore.
He is a gnome. Yes.
Alright.
Hmm.
Well, to either see if we could enlist his help or interrogate him, because he is a newcomer to the to the area. Well, to our city.
And
this
is there
happened after he came here.
anything significant about that vow in particular, or position of where he would be standing?
It's one of the approaches to the mountain.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go and try and interview some of the neighbors.
Okay. Those who are direct neighbors have been held for questioning. They are emotions kind of around the back. They're keeping them out of the public eye as well, so they're not implicating them in the crimes by publicly being like, you're going to stand outside the murder house and we're going to hold you here until we've talked with you.
Okay.
He reports that all of what they can tell you is they got the neighbors up in the morning. Well, as much as you can call 3 a.m. the morning. All of them were asleep in their houses at the time of their approach.
Okay. I was gonna ask them if they heard anything interesting or had.
They've not talked with them yet, as they wanted to get you guys in on this.
Okay.
Again, they have them out back.
I would like to go with him and just kind of staying in the back and just trying to get a read on anybody answering questions.
Right. And you said the building was like a one-story building with 2 rooms?
Yes,
Like no attic or anything like that?
correct. That is standard construction for the town.
Any windows or anything in it?
No.
Okay, so the murderer would have had to go through the front door.
Correct. I say there's no windows. There are technically ventilation slats that are kind of higher up that would allow hot air in or breezes in. Or hot air
How big
out.
is the... Okay, so...
They're just gaps in the stonework.
You said
Too small, then.
that the victim was hanging from the rafters at one point by a rope.
Yes. Ropes were fastened around the stumps of where his legs used to be. And he was hanging where his head used to have been down.
Okay.
You would have recognized from your previous investigation that is standard butchery technique.
Was the rope still hanging about?
Yes.
Was it just a kind of looked like a standard?
It is the type of rope you guys would have around and about your settlement.
Was it tied off at the top, or was it just draped over?
Draped over.
Okay.
It is rope that appears to have been custom put together for this purpose.
Throw it up and over.
Did we ever get a census of... general census of the people and what they could do for the city? Like a written list or anything like that?
Yes, you don't have that many specialists, as most of those were on other ships.
Alright, because I was wondering if there was anyone on that list who had butchery experience.
There would be a butcher tanner, typical hunters. They would be serving, the vast majority of them are serving with the guard.
Okay. Are any of them small folk?
Yes, there would be some gnomes and halflings about them.
Okay, so
Gnomes, halflings, dwarves, a couple kobolds.
I think it was the Vegapigmies.
Wait, we have kobolds as well?
Kobolds
They're
are...
instantly the best scouts. I don't care what any you said.
I thought the what were they called? Those dog-faced people that we faced that time?
Ask the kobolds
No.
to rig up the traps in the tunnel, man. We wouldn't have to worry about those things ever.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
means gnolls.
Yeah, the gnolls.
Those are not one of the quote-unquote high playable races.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to the neighbors.
You guys,
one
the
at a
two of
time.
you are brought around back. There is a kind of a separate alleyway where there is, you guys can set up the interrogation, for lack of a better term. The first one that is brought to you is a human couple. That is, did you want the couple as a group or individually?
Individually.
Okay. So the husband of the group is led over first.
Okay.
Greeting, my sires.
Hello, sir. First, can I have your name?
Yes. Benjamin.
Going to name every person in the city.
And Which house do you live in, Benjamin?
He motions to the one your back is to in the alley.
Okay, so directly facing the house then? Or
It
right
would
next
be-
door?
It would be right next door.
Okay.
The alleyway leads to a small courtyard for the 4 houses.
Did you know your neighbor Laurel?
Yes, sir. He is a handyman. He assisted us with the shingling on our roof.
Alright.
We all know that he was a handyman, right?
Yes.
You know he did odd jobs.
Can I go up to one of the guards and ask them if they know who he's recently done jobs for?
He does not appear to have had a ledger.
Did you notice any strange behavior, any odd sounds around last night or any time before that?
No. The day before, we had been eating. He had interacted with our child in the area. By interacted, he kind of elaborates. I know he would play amongst the children sometimes. They seemed to enjoy his presence, and he seemed to enjoy their youthfulness.
Okay. And what do you do?
My profession. Originally, I was a miller. Nowadays, I just help out around the fungus farm.
He's fine.
So he's a fungler.
A fungler.
Fungus wrangler.
Do you
Yes,
know if
exactly.
Laurel had any enemies or
As far as I'm aware, no one held anything ill against him. He typically would keep to himself and likewise never really pried into other people's business.
okay.
Even with our house, we had to struggle to find any way of repaying him as he never even requested payment for his work. Preferred to say we were part of a group and we all had to pull our parts and this was just his.
And you said you had a wife and a child yourself, or
Yes, 2 children.
2 children? Okay. Would I be able to talk to him as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent. Well, I thank you for your assistance. If we have any further questions for you, we'll let you know. But for now, you can rejoin your crowd.
Yep, he heads back over to the improvised holding area.
Next person I'll probably interview is wife.
Okay. His wife, also human, comes up. Greetings, sir.
Oh, madam. Can I have your name, please?
Wanda.
First, I'll like to ask, how well did you know Laurel, your neighbor?
Laurel? We would spend time on occasion. Oftentimes when I was watching over my children and the children of the neighborhood, or we were having meetings, he would show up and assist us as he was able, either by watching or leading various games with them.
Alright. And did you notice or hear anything weird last night, or any time leading up to that? Strange behavior from the victim, or people that knew him, or maybe the children interacted, may have said something?
No. Last time I would have spent time with him would have been a couple days ago when the children and I were out at one of the local meetings. You would know this is standard thing for the families. The kids get together and are allowed to enjoy under the supervision of multiple mothers, while others are freed up to go and do chores around the city.
Okay. And what's your occupation, madam?
I have none.
Alright. So, full-time mother.
Mother of the city.
Well, we know who you're going to be calling when you need a good time. Everyone needs a mother now and then.
You're lucky
She was
he's
great.
not there.
I had a mother. She was great. She's dead now, so thanks for that. Okay. And what were the names of her kids? Real quick.
We'll go with Cassidy and Lauren. You chuckle. I have a long list of names for situations such as
I know
this.
you do.
I've heard that Laurel also did other odd jobs around the city.
Yes.
What was the last one you saw him do for your family in particular?
Last one for us is he shingled the roof. Well, it's the last one we paid him for. I mean, he's assisted with the children, but we've never considered that work, nor did he.
Do you know if he had any enemies or anything like that, or anyone that disliked him, or maybe a job for someone wasn't satisfied with?
I would hardly think he would do anything where failing a job would end in his passing from the world. Most of his jobs were mundane in nature. Worst that would happen was a leaky roof or a gutter that wasn't properly cleaned.
Well, that's all the questions I have for now. If I have anything else to ask you in particular, I will come and talk to you again.
Understood.
But for now, please, you may join your husband.
Yep.
I'll probably ask your kids around if they hang out with them some questions in a second.
Absolutely.
Before I go to the kids, though, I'm going to go to the guard that's nearby.
Yep.
And ask him how much they've alerted the or
They know that he is dead.
well, no, I'm saying like have they told the neighbors that?
The neighbors are aware he is dead.
Okay, just being sure.
And an insight of 21 on Wanda.
She appears to have certain levels of angst, anxiety about the situation, but no more than you would pertain as just from, hey, you were woken up at 3 a.m. and you've been here for now 5-6 hours. I mean, food's been provided, but you're still being held because the guards have gone and searched their houses and done basic investigative work.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to the kids now, Cassie and Laurel.
Okay.
I'll have them together.
Okay. Cassidy, about 12 in age. Well, sorry, no, Cassidy's about 17 in age. Laurel is about 12. So 5 years difference between the two of them.
So they're both probably about, what, 4 feet tall or so?
Cassidy would be much taller than that. He would be around 5'11", 6'2", somewhere between there, depending on which posture he's standing in at this given time.
Okay. Just throwing that out there.
Yep. He dresses in vibrant colors that are reminiscent of you yourself.
Do I see an instrument on?
You do not.
Okay.
You see a banjo.
Alright. Greetings, Cassidy and Laurel.
Yep. Laurel just kind of settles herself in, half using Cassidy's body as a shield between her and you.
I'm just going to kind of sit down on the ground and fold my legs.
Sorry for all the hassle it's had recently. I hope you're doing well. I just had a few questions regarding Laurel, your neighbor.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course. First off, I've heard that Laurel likes to play with the children and such like that.
Oh, yes. He would lead us in games, take us around the city,
Okay.
show us off the various sights and vistas.
Has he ever taken you to? I kind of suggest with the mountain top that was in the mural.
Yes, we've had a vista of that valley. He motions that it's up on top of one of the walls.
Okay. And what other kind of games did he play with you? Was there anything in particular like that, or?
He has a, what would be equivalent of a cloth soccer ball, just a hard core that's been wrapped around so that it can be kicked in. That was his favorite. Various ball-based games.
Okay. When was the last time you played with him?
About 2 days ago.
2 days. Did he seem off to you, or say anything odd during then?
No, not that I can think of.
What about the other children that play with him? Do you know their names and how many there were?
He's able to recite off the names of about 8 other children that are just children in the city.
Okay, no other neighbors?
None of the neighbors know.
Okay. Let's see. And other than play around, do you do anything for the city, Cassidy? You're getting around that age where you can
I assist with chores and do mostly manual labor. But I am very good with a sword.
Alright. And what do you want to do, Cassidy, when you get older? I mean, you kind of the choice of options.
My goal is to rise and help lead the city. I think we could use more people like yourselves.
Oh, awesome. That is great to hear. I noticed your apparel, respective rogue or bard, perhaps?
I have been attempting to pick up the flute, yes.
We clearly the city needs more bards. We're going to be a bardic empire.
It's a dude.
Oh, that was it. I thought it was the.
Yeah, you said Cassidy is a dude, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dutch.
What was it?
Chat.
Alright, well, I thank him. And what about you, Laura? Can I crouch down, act friendly? Can I try and roll charisma?
Go ahead.
No, I want to go through all these first. Once I get all these ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a luck roll. There we go. 15.
15. She's about now only 1/4 blocked. Hi.
Hi, little Laurel.
Eyes big as her head.
I'm sorry if you're a little frightened by recent events. But I just asked your brother what he wanted to do, and what about you yourself? Do you have any perspiring dreams or like that?
Bard sounds good.
Bard as well. Well, thank you. I'm a bard myself.
You need to start school, man. Give these people lessons.
Did you know Laurel as well? Did you get to play with him at all?
Yes, yes. Participated in various ball games.
Okay.
Like Cassidy said.
Do you and Cassidy have any other hobbies other than the flute, or?
The recorder.
It's been the flute for a while now.
For a while?
Since we've shown up, yes.
Yep.
Practice with swords too.
Swords. Oh, excellent. Where are you learning how to swing a sword? You just on your own?
You can. She kind of motions, and you can see like almost a toy wooden blade that she has at her hip.
To be from college's sword.
Okay. So you've been teaching yourself, or someone teaching you?
Cassidy speaks up. I've been teaching her.
Oh, you teach her. Excellent. Did you learn? Are you self-taught, or are you getting instruction?
We learn by watching mostly.
Watching. Oh.
Yes.
The guard, or?
We were on the wall observing you guys fight the bugs.
Okay.
Take lessons from Lucky Cat. Climb up trees and fall.
Oh, excellent. You both look. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry you've been on your own. Why don't you can join your parents now and probably get some rest, return to your homes. I will tell the guard that you're free to return. If I have any other questions, I'll
Cassidy
let you know.
indicates, I'd like to stay on for the investigation if you don't mind.
I'll take on your advice. I'll have to talk to my companions for quick, and if it's okay, I'll come back and alert you to it.
He nods and heads back over.
Well, were there any personal possessions of Lornal? in the
Oh,
house?
or no? Yes. Personal effects? Yes.
All right. While he's doing his interviews with those people, can I try to drag Lucky Cat in there to help search through his
The
personal
cat is already
belongings?
in there.
Okay. Well, I would like to search through the belongings.
What's your alignment? Just being sure.
Chaotic good.
I say any alignment would work with this. You have lawful right to be searching through the personal goods.
Yeah, I'm just making
'Cause I'm
making
looking
he
for
remembers that
stuff
before he tries
like,
to steal it.
Trying to look for ledgers or like
Yep.
personal notes or any like a diary, anything he might
Yep.
have done recently.
I assume that's investigation, so that's a 22.
That's a 9.
So he's like, where would a ledger be? Under the table. That's where a ledger is, because that's where mine always
In
is.
the rib cage.
Let me check there real quick.
But you
Well,
kind of
fuck
start
you.
going through various. You start going through various personal effects. You don't really see any ledgers, written notes. It appears like he traveled extremely light, having only a couple sets of clothing, no real formal gear whatsoever. Didn't have adventurer's tools. Has just a crude set of woodworker's tools. And you guys are able to find a cloth wrapped ball.
I'm aware. That's why I know. Remind me how I have to start school.
So nothing
No
in
ledger
personal
or anything.
belongings.
No ledger. It doesn't appear like he had any scribes, tools, or scribing implements anywhere in the house. The guard, as you're starting to search through, are able to let you know that they have moved about 50 gold that would have been his valuables out of the house, just as precautionary measure.
Alright.
If you need to review it, what it entitles is a couple gold pieces of jewelry, and then a small sack of coins that would have been about 10 gold.
Alright.
As far as they were aware, none of that appeared touched during their investigation.
Go to the next neighbor, I guess.
Yep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you, so you don't have to go through and question the various other neighbors. You're not going to get any extra info.
Okay.
If
Well,
they're in-
I had one additional new question.
Okay, then we'll go through the next one, Dido.
Dio?
She's going to be a female. What's the race? Dang it, I'm blanking on the race.
Female something.
Tall.
Goliath?
Oh, Tabaxi. There we go. I'm like, it's tall, it's lithe, it's a cat.
Khajiit.
Oh no, the Khajiit is what was coming to mind, and I was like, no, it's
No.
not Khajiit.
Different.
We're gonna say the right thing. So it's a Tabaxi neighbor.
Despite the fact that it is basically a Khajiit.
It's basically
Okay.
It is one form of Khajiit.
Yes, I was about to say.
Uh,
there are many forms of
I'll get some other basic stuff out of the way, like her profession.
Yeah,
and
she is
stuff like
able
that.
to, and all information you gathered from the previous neighbor, she's able to verify, like, yes, this is what he's
What was
done.
her profession?
Oh, the profession of the Tabaxi. We're not going to say Khajiit. Tabaxi. She is primarily a tailor,
Dude.
or was a tailor by trade. Now deals with and she is quick to point out the rough cloth of the area and the not so industrialized agriculture of spiders.
The cat person was a tail. Or...
I don't want to
You're
waste
not
it
there. I'll have to hear your quips.
It's true.
She works with spiders now, you said?
Spiders were a form of silk generation.
Okay, so she's got spiders that are making soap.
She doesn't have it. That's what she's upset about.
Okay. Well,
You guys would have
I'll-
had that
I'll-
back in the
Yeah, I will
manuals.
log that into something for us to work on. Spiders. I'm gonna ask her. I've heard that Laurel used to take children on various trips around the city to like the towers and stuff like that.
Oh,
Did
yes.
anyone else accompany them that was an adult during those trips, or was it just him and the
The
children?
various mothers would typically accompany.
Okay.
Either as part of the group or always within visual range.
Okay. Was there any children that acted particularly peculiar or attached to him?
Attached to him, no. Cassidy seemed to set himself up as the de facto leader of the children, or protector of the children.
Okay. Alright, I thank her and go about the other various neighbors.
Okay, yep. They're all able to, they all work simple jobs. None of them had any great craft. You'll be like, yeah, no, I worked in a smithy, but it was hammering out horseshoes. Or stuff like that.
Yep.
Nothing related to butchery. All of them very mundane tasks that you'd expect people to be doing.
Okay.
Entire interrogation's going to have taken about 2 hours.
Alright, in that time I would have asked, was there any other locations that he was particularly fond of bringing the children other than that one tower?
They would view both approaches to the city. The western and the eastern approach. So different sides of the wall.
Okay.
But only the western approach was the one mentioned in the mural.
I guess thank them and head back to consult with my friends. Do we have any guards posted on that tower, by the way? That was mentioned?
There are some that patrol the wall.
Okay.
But it's a pre-built wall. They just kind of, yep, nope, and there they are. So guards would have seen them and been able to say, yeah, no.
No, I'm saying like recently. Have we been up there?
Oh, recently, the patrols would have been there last night.
Okay.
And it's part of the circuit.
Yep.
But you don't have enough guards to always be like, somebody is posted here, watching that approach. But they always get there and check the approach because they can see anything approaching for a wide distance.
I'll return to them, ask if they found anything additional.
Before that,
Okay.
do we know the races of all the people that we found in the mine? Were they all like humans, dwarves, gnomes?
Mixed race is similar. The leader was a half-orc.
Because I know when we met them, they mentioned eating us.
The one crazy guy who first met us did.
So I was
The one crazy guy mentioned buying one of you for food, yes. Specifically the cat.
George.
Yeah, so I was wondering.
In conversations, that would have come out as they can use that to bolster their numbers. They're not actually cannibals.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Safer to ask.
That was a really good connection. But one that would have been clarified shortly thereafter.
Yep. Well, we searched through his personal belongings and we didn't find any notes or ledgers that would give us any hints.
Okay.
He didn't really have any personal possessions.
Was there any references to children or to caretaking children in them?
No, there
Found the
was.
ball that they used for the games.
Okay. Anything particular about it or anything like that? Have you checked it?
Didn't specifically look at it, but I don't because I didn't think it would be. But
Rogue. Check the ball traps.
that's a nat one. It's a ball.
You take it, you put it to the ground, you kick it, it's a ball.
Okay.
I can't. She kicked it away.
But it didn't blow up.
Not yet. He didn't specify yet.
Was there any particular? Where'd you find it by?
Just in the house among the.
It would have been among his goods with his traveling cloak.
Okay.
All valuables were untouched, by the way, so it wasn't. There was definitely no intention of theft.
Yeah. I was gonna rule out that just because there's no real need for money at this point by anyone.
I'm wanting to go up to whatever that lookout is that was depicted, just to see, like, if we're dealing with a serial killer, it might be leading us somewhere.
Yeah, I heard it's apparently one of the towers that watches the western approach.
And easily one of us could just go up there and take a look out, see if there's
Sure.
another clue or something.
Yeah.
Or
You can
in
go.
pairs.
You can go do that. I want to investigate this rope.
Okay. You're able to kind of just fish the rope down. It's not hard. It wasn't fastened to anything. The body is what was holding it in place.
Yeah. Do I know? Is rope's fairly rare commodity here, right? Since we don't have
Yes.
much.
Correct.
Okay. Would I? Do we have any way of keeping inventory on who owns it? Owns ropes?
Those that have the rope would know they have it. There is no accountant assigned to rope
Okay. Well, I was saying like.
or goods in general.
Is there any particular people that are designated? Yes, okay, you're supposed to have rope to do your job.
Yes. Various construction would be the people using rope. The hunters would have access to some,
Okay.
but the hunters kind of operate under the auspices of the guard, but not directly.
We need to start
Like,
the
but
first
similar.
bank of
Okay.
rope. Keep track
It
of
might
all
be
the
our
rope.
future currency.
Exactly. Just use rope as currency.
Yeah, just pull up, clip it. There's your thing.
Right.
So, just seeing him, I would tell him that, well, the presence of the rope suspicious. I don't think he was supposed to have.
He wouldn't have had rope. No.
Yeah. So rope. The killer brought rope. From the various people I've talked to, the only real suspect I think might be Cassidy. I need more. I might need to talk to either his mother or his father again.
Okay.
Just because I want their perspective, preferably Wanda, the human female, just because since she might have been caretaking alongside whenever Laurel took them somewhere before, she might be able to tell me just how well Cassie's relationship was with Laurel, or if they have any other hobbies like artwork.
Did you take up painting recently?
Yes, I think I'll let a little while go by because they've left already, right? Back to their home? Or...
They were given permission to. The children were, because you had given permission to them specifically.
Okay.
They have not left.
Alright. I'll ask to see Wanda one more time.
Okay. In the same alleyway, I'm assuming.
Different alleyway.
Okay.
Because it's nearby their house and their kids are in their house right now.
Their kids are in the courtyard. They
Oh.
did not leave. You gave them permission to. They didn't.
Okay. Okay.
So you could still go to an alleyway. Different
Yeah.
alleyway. There's 4 different approaches into this alley. Or into this courtyard.
Okay.
So you set up in a different alleyway.
And I guess while I was doing that, I mean, I'll go hop up to that lookout.
Are you still with me?
Alright. You kind of get your claws in between the rocks and just kind of skitter on up to the roof.
I guess maybe perception to look out.
Go for it.
Or maybe an investigation.
Or might have left some.
What are you looking for?
Anything that's out of the ordinary that stands out.
Okay.
Shouldn't.
Go for
Wouldn't
it.
have been
Even
there
if
before.
you put a sack, there's still a chance.
That's in that one. But
Well, there
that
weren't
might
any
give it
trails.
another
Start looking
try.
around.
Yeah, but it's how well they can try
I
and
give it
keep
another try.
that hidden.
Go for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you have
I do-
proficiency, you
I
may
do
roll
have
with
proficiency.
advantage. It just means you're spending 10 minutes investigating
Yeah.
it.
That's a
They also
14
let you use
perception.
the
14?
blood from the head on
Still
the
nothing.
arrow
Everything
to
appears
drain
to
it.
be in place.
Yeah, but there's also probably using of the body. So like that. Plus they might try to stash the head somewhere.
Or dispose of it.
Or dispose of it. Yeah.
Now use an investigation.
It's still
Okay.
It's like perception.
Would.
General look around. No.
would it
Yeah,
hurt
investigation.
looking
You're
around?
starting to be like, is the
It
shingle
would not.
loose? Is the shingle loose?
I was gonna
That's a
ask
7, but I'll do it again.
Wanda if her either Cassie or Laurel are like really close to Laurel in particular, or if they had spoken of him to them at all.
Spoken of, Cassidy would have talked. I mean, the children told stories about their, well, as Cassidy would say, adventures to various walls and observing the approaches, the games. In terms of particularly close, she would not characterize their relationship in that way.
Okay. And his what else kind of hobbies is Cassidy? I noticed that he wants to be an adventurer. Obviously,
Oh, is that his new one?
that's a new one.
I guess. Give me insight on this one.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
It's not a natural one. I've got 3 of my 4 insight rolls have been natural ones.
Oh.
16.
Alright.
I got 12.
10 plus, both. She appears to not know the answer to the question, but knows she should know the answer to it. And so kind of goes, he's liked exploring and playing ball games.
Oh,
glad
you
you
not been able
remembered.
to really hang out too much with him recently? How's your relationship with his
Boys will be boys, I'll let him do his thing.
What about Laurel? Lauren,
Cassidy keeps her safe.
does she have any hobbies or anything like that, or have you been able to interact with
You're
her?
getting that look that you recognize of, should know, don't know. We'll go with making up the little girls like ponies. She likes ponies.
Okay.
Horse riding and the like. That's why she's into adventuring now, because she wants to ride ponies.
Okay.
Do we have any ponies here?
No.
I didn't think so.
You could wild shape into one for her.
Are your children particularly close to your husband or anything like that? Or are they more close?
They're not, no.
Okay. Other than Laura, was there anyone else they were fairly close to?
Not that she can think of.
Okay. Now I noticed that they've got practice swords, and they say they want to be adventurers. Have you seen them? Like,
Oh, they bat them back in the courtyard, yes.
okay, by themselves or
Typically.
okay. Is that their general play area, the courtyard, or is there anything else they
When
got?
they're alone, typically we prefer them to stay near the house, so I allow them to go out back to the courtyard. They'll wander off as kids are prone to do.
All right, always together.
Yes.
Okay.
Those two have been inseparable for years. That part, she's actually speaking from knowledge.
All right. That's all the other questions I had. I thank her again.
She nods, seems to be visibly relieved for the awkward family questions to be over.
Okay.
Meanwhile, my last investigation roll was a 12.
Still nothing.
I had back.
I asked the guard that was searching it out to talk to the guards that searched their home.
2 guards, human and a dwarf, approach.
Okay.
They were the first responding officers who noticed the blood.
Alright.
And headed up the searches of all the surrounding residences.
All right. Well, thank them for their first, their keen eye on finding the blood. First, did they find anything peculiar in the human house, the human family's home?
Define peculiar, sir. The dwarf speaks up.
Any signs, straight to it, anything artistic in nature, drawings or...
Aye, sir. There were drawings.
Alright, and that was the child's room?
Yes, sir.
Alright, did they share a room?
As far as I am able to determine, yes, the children shared a room.
Okay.
There was a crude partition set up in the back room for the parents from the children.
What's the quality like on it? What was the quality? Fairly good?
I was able to make out what the drawings were of, yes, sir.
Okay.
Quality, I would go with, I was barely able to identify the subjects of the drawings, sir.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll thank him, and then I will. No one's in the house right now, right?
Correct.
I'll search the house myself, particularly the kids' room.
Yep. There are 3 of you currently with him. Who wants to? Are you guys going? Are you guys staying? What are the rest of you up to?
I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm gonna start walking around the town, trying to search for the head or signs of blood.
Okay.
Focus around either the alleyways or the courtyard.
Alright. I'll focus around
Where's
the
the size
alleys.
of diggings?
Yeah, but with them you can spread out more.
All right.
So it'll be
19 insight on the guard.
On the guard. The
Could
guard.
he
seems...
really tell what was in those drawings? That's what I want to know.
Yes, but he was withholding info.
Did you tell me that?
Alright, no.
As you guys are both walking
Just
into the house,
There's something else.
Okay.
you go
Alright.
into the room, and the child's room is decorated questionably from an artistic sense. Parchment covers the walls in multiple layers, parchment layering onto parchment, and it is repeated drawings of a single subject. Go ahead and give me history rolls, both of you.
16.
It's 15 plus, so.
No. 6.
You see a blur of color and aren't able to identify it. You identify it as repeated drawings of the bard.
This bard?
Yes.
This bard.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You look nothing like them. It's why you're having trouble identifying it. But with him kind of pointing it out, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I
got
can
this
see.
color totally wrong.
Yeah.
It's not the right pigment.
But
He has his first man.
Shut up.
I'm
You're
not with
there.
you right
So-
now.
You're not there.
the 2 who are investigating the city,
I rolled a 15 on perception.
where are you going?